So, we are currently live now. Again. So, OBS is not working, guys. I don't know. I mean, it is, but it's. I don't know. It's not really working too good. That is what I'm looking for. Right there, that file. Kokomo, Indiana. How's it going, Dustin? Hey, Corey. Throw you guys over on that screen. Okay, so yeah, OBS is not working tonight, guys, or really last night. I mean, it is, it isn't, it's just the streaming going from OBS into YouTube. That's what's the problem. So, and plus, I kind of like doing the one-on-one with you guys with the web. Really, it's called the webcam, so it's a little bit easier. So I'll get it figured out eventually here. So. So until I get OBS up and running here officially, pop out chat on you guys. That way it's a little bit easier to kind of see the chat. Okay, so we got snow. At least we had snow. And then we had 40-degree weather all day today. And now it looks like we don't even have any snow, or didn't even get any snow. So that is awesome. But we are still on Harvest 19 delay right now. So we are at the point where we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs, trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Because the 42,000 bushel bin is empty right now. We got that emptied out today. And right now on corn harvest, 110 acres. Really, it's unchanged, guys. If you guys have been listening in on the previous streams, nothing's changed except, cold weather sucks. So, what we've got going on then today, at least, or what we did today, we ended up cleaning out the 42,000 bushel bin. There was only like 4 or 5 loads total that we took over to Hamlet, and got that done, got that cleaned out, and I took a load out of the south bin over to Hamlet before they closed. And what am I even looking for here? I am looking for fall 19, vertical tillage 19. And we got that cleaned out, so that north bin's ready to go. So whenever conditions are fit, we will go ahead and hit it hard then on harvest. So we are just trying to figure out what we're going to do tomorrow, though. Because also we went around and picked up the remaining pro boxes from wheat. And that way we can get the return ready to go and get that sent back to Pioneer here and get that done. Okay, is this? Yep, that's what I need. Find where I put you guys in the live chat here, because I kind of did a pop-out chat on you guys. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Greg. It's going to be interesting to see how much the 8RX falls in at. I highly doubt they did any price adjustment. If you guys know, anything painted green is expensive. So I highly doubt they did anything special on these new tractors at all. So, in regards to price adjustment at all. So, like I said, OBS is not cooperating. No surprise there. It is. It isn't. There was it was working there for a bit. There was about an 8-second delay there. So I highly doubt it's that much, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's around the 450 range. But I wouldn't rule it out of it being 500,000. So, we'll just run it as usual. You guys know the drill. Post questions, topics, we'll discuss. Like I said, I don't know how long we'll run this. It's really up to you guys how long you guys want to run it. And as long as you guys keep having questions for me, we will keep the stream going, or webcam, or whatever you guys want to call these. Discussion boards, open live discussion boards. I guess that's what we'll call them. I don't know when Kyle wants to hop on a stream here. Eventually, he'll be back over here, and we'll do some discussion with him again. Because I know you guys really like doing the discussion with him the time he was out, and I know we still got to work on his channel a little bit here. So. Would I demo an 8RX? Yeah. Hands down, yeah. I mean, honestly, who wouldn't unless you're not impressed with it? What do you do a map for FS19 or FS21? Yeah. If somebody's willing to make one, I'd work with them on it. Okay, I'm just working on getting footage put where it needs to be and getting my computer pretty much cleaned up and organized here. So, hey, Michael, how's it going? That is not what I'm looking for. I need that. So, yeah, like I said, we can talk about grain setups. We can talk about future shop ideas. We can talk about current things going on the farm right now, but we've kind of worn that out a lot. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, discussion, topics that you guys want me to talk about, same thing, as the past, this is stream number 6 officially, because these other ones that I was running for the past, within the past 24 hours have just, I wouldn't say fell on their face, but more just did not pan out because they're just not working in regards to OBS not cooperating. So we're just going to kind of put OBS on the hold here for a bit and see if I can get that figured out. And once I get it figured out, then we will mess around with that some more. But it is what it is. I mean, you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, though, too. So, yep. Okay. Okay, so what do you see? As the benefits for drone mapping during the spring and summer? I know Purdue is doing testing on this also, and the funny thing is, I have talked with Bob Nielsen on this some, and his, I guess you could say, his protege that he always has with him, and they have been doing testing down at the agronomy farm down there on drone technology and trying to perfect it enough, or I wouldn't say perfect it, but more make it more responsive and being able to detect diseases now in corn and soybeans, which I feel that is going to be a game changer if they can get that figured out. I know Purdue, they have a couple of agronomy farms actually right here in Wanata, and some of you guys may have heard of it. My Indiana followers more than likely have heard of it, the Penny Purdue farm. That is literally a stone's throw, about 5-minute drive, just west of us right here. And then the some of you guys that have sat in on Purdue's agronomy sessions have probably heard of the Mary Rice Farm. Mary Rice Farm is literally also like a minute drive or 2-minute drive just south of the farm here, directly south of the farm. So as far as drone technology goes, I see it as a big benefit during that time. It depends really on, I wouldn't recommend scouting. If you're going to go off and scout corn and soybeans, I would not recommend scouting either crop until, soybeans probably not until between, I wouldn't go anywhere under ankle high. Ankle high, you're not going to get any response out of it. You're just going to get you're going to see too much of the either residue that you planted into or the ground, and the plants are going to be tall enough in order for the drone imaging software be able to detect all those plants, and you're going to end up getting an overcast map, meaning your scaling is going to be so screwed up on your map because it's not picking up the green vegetation index enough in order to produce a map. Because really what Drone Deploy is doing, it is doing a map or creating a map based off of the vegetative index scale of how much green plant material it is seeing out in the field. So this is where there is a point where I would stop using Drone Deploy in the season. So there's a starting point and a stopping point that I would highly recommend if you are considering doing this, that you pay attention now. So I would recommend starting scouting soybeans between halfway between ankle and knee high. So I would recommend doing that. So probably about that 8 to 1 foot tall soybeans done. I know that's kind of getting late in the season for some of you guys, especially if they're short beans, but I mean, that's really what I've been finding over the past few years of using the drone. So in corn, same instance. So probably if I put a vegetative stage at that, I would say about V4 I would start. I know that's kind of a little bit late for that first nitrogen pass. If you guys are actually, I don't know how many of you guys on here side dress in Illinois that are my Illinois followers, or even out of state followers in general. Really, I'm not really picking on you guys in Illinois, but just really anybody that follows me right now. Really, I don't know how many of you guys in general side dress. So, because I know some of you guys either pre-plant or put it all down with the planter. You know, there's so many different scenarios that you guys all do out there. So no farm is the same as everybody knows. So, but yeah, I would start at V4 on corn, and there is a point on corn that I would stop. Beans, you can necessarily scout beans up until they are fully mature, really, because there is some pretty interesting things that I found. Not only in beans, but also in wheat, in scaling for yield, or producing maps in order to determine yield before harvest, which is a great prediction tool, especially when you are out trying to determine how many bushels you're going to end up pulling from these fields. So in corn, I would recommend stopping at tasseling. So right when corn shoots its tassels, I would stop, because you're going to get to a point where all you're seeing is a gray overscaling. Just like I talked about earlier, um, in soybeans when they are ankle high or ankle or below. Um, you guys understand what I'm saying. So 8 inches or lower in height, you're going to end up seeing too much of the ground and not enough green vegetative index. Well, there is a point where you oversaturate that map with too much green vegetation, and you're not gonna see enough difference in the plant material, such as color differences, in order for it to show you anything. So that's where Purdue's stepping in, and they're trying to penetrate that canopy some more, or deeper into the canopy. Where gray leaf spot, northern corn leaf blight, tar spot, all develops all down in there. In that mid to lower upper canopy. You know what I'm talking about, guys. That anything around the ear leaves or above in that canopy, that's what they're targeting with the drones. Now, with my technology that I have access to right now, and pretty much everyone has access to right now, because Purdue obviously hasn't released anything yet, nor has anybody else. Um, you know, that's where the oversaturation comes in, and that's where really your boots on the ground is going to really shine late in the season, because the drone's only going to be able to take you so far during the season. But you know, I can't say for the fact that I would recommend just quit scouting. I would quit with the drones. I would quit scouting with the drones if you are just looking for vegetative differences. Now, if you are scouting, say, a hailstorm came through, and you're trying to determine, say, you have a 320-acre field, you're trying to determine what percent of that field is like severely damaged or whatever, because you're talking to your crop insurance adjuster if you carry crop insurance. So, or just in general, you just want to know. You can take the drone out there and produce a map, and it will help determine those areas. It'll produce a map for you. You don't even have to kick on the NDVI for the vegetative index. You can just, draw shapes to determine how many acreage or acres those areas that were damaged total up to. So, I wouldn't say I would stop, but there are certain stopping points where I would recommend just flat out not using NDVI in the season, just because it's not going to work, because it just becomes oversaturated. So, but leading into wheat and soybeans on, or kind of bring it back to soybeans on, late season scouting in soybeans, and kind of right in that period right before wheat matures. Same with soybeans. What I found is, when I produce maps during that, right before that maturing stage, where the plant material obviously is dying off and the plant is shutting down because it's fully either maturing or it, premature, like, died, due to unrelated, or stress factors, such as weather. I could go on and on about that, but anyways, um, you know when I scouted, say, the Irrigator 143, which this is what I wish I had OBS working right now. That way I could be able to show you some of this stuff. The drone map that I made of that center 60 section out of that 143 acre field, we put that center section into wheat. So there was 60 acres there in that center that we put into wheat. And it's a long story about why we did that. It has to do with tomatoes, and we didn't put the whole Irrigator 143 field into tomatoes. But anyways, that center section was wheat. So before the wheat, turned its golden natural color, when it dies, obviously, I went out there and flew the drone, because I just wanted to see what I could like what the drone was going to pick up, because I was just interested and I didn't know what I was actually going to see, if I was actually going to produce, any actionable data that I can actually look at and analyze. And the drone map that I produced was quite eye opening, because we thought the stands out there were quite thick. And from the drone map, you could physically see the thin areas, or the thin stand areas out there, which was quite impressive in wheat. So I held on to that drone map like I do with all my other ones I've always done. Stored them on, it saves them automatically online in their cloud database. So I don't have to worry about saving them onto my computer unless I absolutely want to for a hard backup copy on my computer, which I do. So, anyways, I held on to that drone map. And after we harvested it in July, like first week of July, I overlaid or laid the yield map from the combine and the wheat drone map that I did like 3 weeks earlier side by side, and the parallelism was unbelievable. I mean, I could literally sit and predict where you guys are probably just going to sit there and say, well, you could tell because it's an irrigated field. Not only that, but throughout the field, it literally matched the parallelism. Like it was so, the maps were practically identical in regards to the yield map versus the drone map. So now I can't predict how many bushels, those areas were on the drone map. But what I can do is I can get a rough estimate saying, okay, these green areas, are going to be, I'm going to have this percent that's going to be this good, if I can estimate, it's hard to tell at that point with the bushel, but if you put a bushel factor in there, but at least you get an idea on what you're going to be looking at on how good your field's going to be throughout the entire field, because it was pretty eye-opening that on what that field looked like from the air at that time. So it all depends on the timing, really. So just kind of bringing the whole drone tech spring summer thing full circle now, it's all about timing. And if you can get the timing down, which I've been working on, the problem is, there's a lot of companies out there trying to do satellite imagery. With satellite imagery sucks. I will say that right now. I don't care what company it is. It sucks. The reason why is because if many of you guys have ever used satellite imagery, well, I guarantee you every single one of you has with the Google Maps. So Google Maps is probably one of the best ones out there, but my thing is that that's not updated often enough. And obviously, you guys know with satellite imagery in the ag industry, what they're trying to do is try and make sure that they don't have any cloud cover, which most of the time, when you want to analyze that data, there's cloud cover and you can't analyze the data. And that kind of skews the data and you're not getting true representations of your field. So that's where I feel the drone can step in and help get you boots on the ground, or get you a better idea where to better position yourself for boots on the ground scenarios where you need to better analyze your field. So, I kind of completely, blew that out of the water, and over proportionized that, but, it pretty well explained it for you. So, to kind of jump back on the chat here, do you see the corn prices going up in the near future? Yeah. The question is, though, that everybody's trying to figure out now is when? When is it going to go in that 450 range again? How'd the plot planner work out? The 4-row, it worked out really well. Really well. There is modifications I still want to do to it. That's going to be like a test planner now. It seems like we didn't use it for plots, though. We just used it for sweet corn and that bean plot, the sugar test. So that worked out really good. How's harvest going? We've got a long ways to go. At least 700 acres of corn total. That's between us and the custom work, which we're on the latter side on ours. So we've only got 110 acres of corn and 20 acres of beans on the custom work, which we're trying to decide what we're going to do tomorrow. Which in my vote, I say we're not going to pick corn because it's just a tad bit too wet out, in my opinion. So just a tad bit moist. Moist. Have you tried mowing corn stalks in the fall? Yeah, before the vertical till, we had a mower that we ended up calling, stalk chopper, which really, there are actual pieces of equipment out there literally called stalk choppers, but we just literally called this mower um, stalk chopper, which you guys know there's specific tools out there that are literally designed to just nothing but chop stalks. But we used a 15-foot mower with the 4630 or 4650, whatever was available that we used during the fall, and chop stalks. And then we went away from that because it's just we just didn't like doing it really. It just didn't seem very cost effective to do. But then that's when we got into the vertical tillage because it sized that residue a lot better, and we really like the job that it did because it actually scratches that top soil band a little bit. We're not tilling deep. We're just trying to do that like 2 inch, 2 inches is the max, literally, is what we're trying to till. So I guess in all reality, you could classify us as a minimal till operation. So that's where it comes into what are you? Are you no till? Are you minimal till? I consider us no till with incorporating vertical tillage. So hand in hand, no till, minimal till operation. So I will admit it. Some of you guys sit there and jump down my throat and say, "Well, you're vertical tilling. That's tillage. You're conventional till." Wrong. So we are a minimal till, no till operation. So okay. Gonna be a good discussion tonight, guys. I can already feel it. Got to go. I got to start mowing cotton stalks tonight. Already, see ya. How's the cotton crop turning out? Yep, that is not a question for me. Tracker time with Tim. His daughter is in Purdue. Okay. Better than we thought it would be this year. Hey, I appreciate it, Caden. Where could I get merch? That's one thing I'm going to work on this weekend is try and get that website up for you guys. Hopefully this weekend, and then you guys can order merch then. We spread in the spring, pre-plant with spreader, then side dress on H3. Nice. Yeah, it was about 26 degrees here at the farm. Nice. Watching from the combine. That's always cool. Is it hard to get a tour of a farm equipment manufacturer? So, what are you referring to? Like, say, if I go out to Moline, Illinois, and or say Waterloo, Iowa, or Kinsey out there in Iowa, and want to tour their factory. It really all depends on how open the manufacturer is. Actually, we were before harvest. I was actually going to go on a tour of the Harvester Works. If you guys follow me on the community tab on YouTube, you probably heard me discuss that. And what happened was they shut down 1 week early. 1 week early, and I literally missed it by that much. So I talked with the girl some more, and she told me that I could come when they start up again sometime late November here, but we're more than likely not going to do that. There is a possibility, but it really all depends on how harvest pans out here. I'm hoping we get done before Thanksgiving, but we've got at least 20,000 bushel to haul out of the 42,000 bushel bin in order for us to actually be able to fit all the corn that's left in that bin, or to fit everything that goes in that bin. So at least 20,000 bushel, and we're estimating yields on the lower end. That way we can be happily surprised if they're better. So that way we've kind of got a good idea then on how much we got to haul out for that bin and haul out for that bin. Like I said, we already got that bin empty, but we're going to have to empty that bin out again before we can finish harvest. So, but that's how it's always been, guys. I mean, we only have 62,000 bushel corn storage and 0 on bean storage. So someday we'll have a 100,000 plus bushel bin out here, and we'll have over 142,000 plus bushel corn storage out here, and over 30,000 bushel bean storage then. So then, we'll have finally some bean storage. So either the chat is quiet all of a sudden, or yep, okay, there we go. I thought the chat was like lagging here, like flat out just quit on me. But there we go. If Minnesota farmers didn't have corn storage, we'd go broke. Yeah, I can't believe the price difference between here and, like, say, Minnesota. It's unbelievable. Your guys' basis up there is, like, insane compared to ours. So don't ask me on basis, guys. I haven't looked recently. But, currently I know Hamlet was paying $3.89 today on corn. Well, all of a sudden you guys just went like I don't know, completely quiet on me all of a sudden. There's a Klaus manufacturing plant here in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I don't know, like, say on those, I don't know if they do tours or not. I guess that'd be something that you would just have to check into on their website and see. But, yeah. I know John Deere's open to tours. Actually, I was going to be able to film on the Harvester Works tour, which we were kind of surprised on. I was going to be able to, and I told him, I'm like, I'm just going to flat out ask her. It's not going to hurt to ask. And surprisingly enough, she said, yeah, we can let you film. Obviously, not the entire tour, but a fair amount of it, which I was like, that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, just keep on posting discussion questions, and we will keep this going here. Well, this might not be a very long stream then, guys. Yeah, you guys are like all of a sudden dead in the water on me. I like how IVT trans are smooth, but dislike the problems when it slips or quits going to the next field. Yeah, that is an issue I have found. I haven't really found too many issues with the IVT. It's more just switching from that point where you can adjust F1, F2 in reverse, that dial period before you kick it in F1 or whatever gear range you're going into, forward or reverse. That spot where you slide it out of park, I've had issues with that, especially running grain cart. But otherwise, I mean, it works pretty good for us. I haven't really had too many issues, but sometimes we do. Do we use row markers on a planter? No, we actually took those off. Reason being is because auto steer works great for us, and we haven't had an issue where we wish we had the markers on the planters. So, and we did that in 2008. Took the markers off. Yeah, looks like we're gonna end the stream then, I guess, at 10:30 because you guys are like dead in the water on me. Not really chatting too much tonight. Oh. Yep, so we will end this stream then officially at 10:30 because this is a lot quieter than what I expected you guys to be. Like, you guys are normally a lot more talkative than this. We might even end it sooner than this if you guys don't start talking. Well, I guess we will end it at 10:20 then. We'll go ahead and end this at 10:20 and see how things go possibly tomorrow night and see about doing the stream then maybe tomorrow. But do you have a heated shop? What we have for a heated shop, we have a wood burner and an LB White in there. Works good, but not very efficient. So eventually someday we will do in-floor heat in there, but as of right now, we're not. Yeah, we will end this stream here in the next 3 minutes. You guys are like quiet as can be compared to how you guys normally are. I don't get it, guys. Well, 2 more minutes, guys, and then we're gonna shut this down because I thought you guys were actually gonna be pretty talkative tonight, but you guys are quiet as can be. Silence on your guys' end. Any reason you guys grow wheat, or just diversity, or just for diversity and rotation? Diversity and rotation, and plus we have seen pretty good corn yields following wheat. Then we can also double crop if we run the wheat under irrigation, which normally we do, or at least try to. Mostly we run the wheat just because we know it'll work on dry land fields. So, very dry, drouthy, dry land fields. So, but yeah, that's why we do the wheat. just to, like you said, have a little bit more diversity in the crops. Not really so much for that, but we do have that as somewhat of a reason. But to what am I even looking for here? To kind of not have to plant corn on those pure blow sand fields, really. That's why the alfalfa has started to take off more and more on our farm. So, well, really just this year, but more in the future. So, fall vertical tillage. Just organizing some pictures and footage to get off my computer and onto these 20 terabyte or two 20 terabyte drives right here in front of me. Yes, I have two 20 terabyte drives, so I got 40 terabytes. Hi from Purdue Northwest. That's pretty close. That is literally just north of me. How's it going, Peter? Have you seen any problems with compaction on your sandy farms from being a no-till? None. Well, I can't say none, but yes, there is compaction, but very minimal enough that, by having cover crops out there, we pretty much reduce that to virtually none. So I can't say there's like no compaction out there. Yes, I mean every operation, whether you're conventional till, no till, minimal till, you're going to have compaction. But in my opinion, no till has the least amount of compaction out of all operations because for those of you that think tillage is the answer to remove compaction, that is, in my opinion, wrong. But I guess we can agree to disagree if that is the case. But in my opinion, by pulling iron through the soil to try and eliminate vertical, I was typing, but in order to eliminate compaction layers, in my opinion, you're just creating more compaction layers. So, I mean, that's for the most part. Pretty sure I have all this on my phone, I think. Interesting. Well, it is officially a little bit past 10:22, and I guess since you guys are quiet as can be on here, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I thought you guys were going to be pretty active on here, but I don't know if it's just a combination of starting late and you guys just not being too active tonight or what, but we will see about streaming tomorrow night. Really all depends on what goes on and just what we decide to do. It's not a bad way to wind down before the weekend. Yeah, really. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So, anyways, I know you guys like these streams. Those of you that are still in here, I know it's kind of disappointing that we're going to go ahead and shut this down right now, but there's just not a lot of you guys in here and it's not very active. So we will shoot again for tomorrow night and see how things go. But yeah, probably mid-evening tomorrow night, probably around 7, 8 o'clock we might stream. Really all depends on what goes on tonight because I'm not entirely sure what I got planned for tomorrow night. So the 8RX video, I'm not going to edit that tonight. I'll edit that sometime tomorrow. I will edit that and get that out for you guys on Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So, hey, I appreciate it, Michael. I think I really appreciate you stopping by, every single one of you guys. That's supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. So, Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down now. I really appreciate you guys stopping by for a little bit here, and we will shoot for tomorrow night for a better, hopefully more active stream. Not bashing on any of you guys that are in here right now. It's just the fact that we don't have a bunch of guys in here today. So I think it's just a combination of starting late and either just timing or whatever. I don't know, but we will shoot for tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll see all you guys tomorrow night and more. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys tomorrow night.